today. I went on Reddit and there was a thread that was like, what was looking at 2025 in review? What would you give WWE in a like 1 to 10 rating? Like how good it was, and like how entertaining, like overall, just how much did you enjoy WWE out of 10 this year from January to the end of the year? And most people said anywhere between like 4 and 6. I saw a couple sevens. And to me, that's not good enough. Like, that is not good enough. Especially when you have these deals that you're making with ESPN, you got Netflix. I mean, it's like the era of the deals basically is what's happening right now. They just keep making these crazy deals. And so yeah, you got to please these people. They want to see these high numbers. And when your product isn't good, and when people think your product's a 4 out of 10 or even a 6 out of 10, I don't think that's good enough personally. And was reports of ESPN talking about how they might not be happy with numbers. No one knows if any of that's true. That's obviously like internet speculation. You see so much of this stuff online where it's like breaking news. Like I saw one today. It said breaking in the background, right? And it's a picture of Chris Jericho, and you're like, oh, what? There must be some kind of confirmed news that Jericho's returning, and then it says like, as per sources, Jericho's gonna make a Royal Rumble return, and it's like, okay, but yeah, you can say that, but what are your sources? You can't just say as per sources and have that be. You can't even like when you put breaking behind it. It gives you this impression that you're breaking news, and you're not. It's literally speculation until you can provide sources for where you heard this. That kind of stuff is all over the place. It's really, really irritating. So when you see the ESPN deal and you read things like that, what are the sources? ESPN isn't really coming out and putting out a tweet and saying we're not really happy with WWE's numbers. You know what I mean? That's not a thing they're gonna do. Number one, you can't. Like, you definitely can't do that. And I mean, number two, just that. I just think it's one of those things where the fans know the product is not good. The fans know the product is. I'm not going to say not good. I'm going to say it's subpar. It's below where it should be. And so I think that there just needs to be something that they can do to pivot. And I think the main reason, going back to the year in review thing, is you had this entire 2025 and it didn't feel like there was much that really happened. What were the major storylines? Ask yourself that. What were the major storylines in WWE's product on their main brands that were that just happened throughout the whole year that you were invested in? What were the main storylines? Was there two? Was there one? Was there three? I don't know. I really think that I can only really think of two major storylines throughout the entire year that had like a real draw to them, and that would be John Cena's retirement, which it really felt like they drew it out really, really long, and it was almost the entire year. So now you have all this anticipation. I think that's another reason that people were upset with the finish and the way John went out. But you also have the Vision storyline, which that's been pretty good. I haven't been mad at that. But those are the two, right? Like what's the other one? What is it? I mean, I could not for the life of me tell you the next biggest storyline is. Because what is it? The Judgment Day? Is it Stephanie Vaquer? I mean, because the Judgment Days things all that's all been stalled for. I mean, close to a year, and that has to do with injuries and things like that. Just so is the Vision. Obviously, that has to do with injuries, and that's unfortunate. But the product and the creative needs to learn to pivot. So it's just things I've been thinking about uh, watching the last few weeks because man, Raw has just been a drag. And then you have like Triple H saying like, "Oh, that this week's Raw is gonna blow you away or whatever. It's gonna be what was it, explosive or something." He said, and then it was just this past week's Raw. What happened? What was the big moment on Raw? Right? What was it? It was Austin Theory's reveal. I mean that was pretty much the major moment. So it's like, is that really? Did they get the reaction too? Like I'm always wondering when I see things like that, and you see Austin Theory reveal himself. Did they get the reaction that they wanted from the crowd? Didn't sound like it. So now what do you do? Right? I mean, you got to roll with it. But I think they were expecting the crowd to be more excited that Austin Theory was going to be that central character in whatever they're planning. So, yeah, a number of things that I've been thinking about recently.